Welcome out to the Nerd Effect News Show, week ending March 30th, 2014. And it is a rather odd afternoon today. Sun's out. Was out.
It's 8:47 at
I
night.
know,
And it's
but
it's
been an odd afternoon for weather.
We've had crazy weather.
It rained in the morning, then it hailed later in the afternoon.
It didn't hail where we were, but I heard about it.
And then
It hailed at my place.
The wind blew like a mother at one point, and then
At most of the points.
And then
the rain went goosh in honor of Noah's Ark coming out.
Well, you think it was predicted that way?
No.
I think God went, "Hey, this is my jam." And then
Yeah.
Floods. I remember those. No.
Oh yeah, have this one. Bitches.
I heard this place called Lucky Peak needs a good washing.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. All right, well, we are here with the news show this week, and we are going to talk about some stuff that's been going around on the interwebiness. And I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite websites. It's kind of the website that initially got me started into the whole, hey, let's watch internet YouTube videos and other websites and people review things and do top 10s and stuff like that for fun type website type stuff. And that is Screw Attack. Craig Skistimus and
AKA Stuttering Craig.
AKA Stuttering Craig, yes, and the rest of his crew have partnered up with Full Screen Entertainment, who have bring you things such as Cyanide and Happiness and Lindsay Sterling. So now they are forming the Screw Attack Network. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the full details, but I am excited to see kind of what comes out of it. I didn't catch their Twitch stream, unfortunately, but I'm sure I can go back later and read up on it, or hopefully
I'm sure it's on YouTube,
or catch the post. So I'm excited to see where that comes from. I'm really happy for them because that's a great website and they're very community based.
We didn't introduce ourselves and it hurts.
Oh goodness! Well,
That's what that face was. Sorry, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I'm a creature of habit.
All right. On that note, I am one of your anchors, and in honor of Stuttering Craig, I am Forgetful Dustin, and I am joined by my three other cohorts.
Michael Morgan.
Mason Ireland.
Broken Nikki.
Yay!
Oh,
I'm sorry I interrupted, but I couldn't help it.
No,
It hurt.
That's fine. I was
Hurt.
done pretty much with what I was saying. So, I don't know if
It's cool, man. We got enthusiasm. We're jumping into it. And we're throwing it out there. It's all good.
I don't know if the three of you are into Screw Attack at all or pay attention to them at all, but very, very good website for community-based stuff. They got a lot of original content. They really don't pay attention to anybody else's horn. They don't, or play to anybody
That's
else's
what she
horn.
said. Okay.
Yeah.
Heyo. So yeah, they're again really good guys, and I totally respect everything that they do. So good luck to them, from me personally, and I'm guessing the rest of these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's get off to some of the news that we initially came here with today. Where do we start? Hey, Mike. Tell us about the Mars colonization.
Okay. So, basically there's this project for Mars 1, which is, the goal is to get humans on Mars by 2025. Yeah. So,
By 2020. So that's
As long as they bring their own
2025.
water.
lol.
Isn't that's a
No, there's water ice in the ice caps on Mars.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to drink it
'Cause
because Doctor Who said so.
Yeah, it turns you into weird water zombies.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. They're going to go crazy either way, so it doesn't
Yeah, it's not really a worry.
I mean, they're going there to die, so it's all good.
But they're gonna die in the coolest way, in the coolest place possible.
So,
I don't agree with that.
I had a couple of news links for this one because they were both very much related.
And from the same site.
Yeah, I mean, they're very much from the same side. So, well, the first one was basically that they announced that they're going to do a simulation of the Mars mission. So, they're going to basically build a replica of the cramped, isolated, crazy-making conditions of the Red Planet colony. So, yeah, they're looking for companies to contract to actually build the facility and they've already started process of going through the applicants. Because like over 200,000 people have applied to join this mission. At this point, they've narrowed the pool down to approximately 1,058 people that they're going to go through. And then their goal ultimately is to have 24 to 40 candidates to actually train to do the mission. Out of those candidates, once they start launching missions to Mars, they're going to be basically sending them in groups of 4, 2 male, 2 female, preferably everybody from different countries. And then every 2 years doing another mission, adding more people to the colony. Couple of big things I'm seeing on this, which is just really kind of bizarre, is that their whole premise on this is basically trying to make it a reality TV show.
There won't be voting anyone off, just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Good way to fund it.
Plus side, everybody's going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I would so watch that.
And so they're
I'm Carson Daly. Welcome to Big Brother Mars.
Oh, yeah, let's send him out there. I would resubscribe to
he
cable.
can be sent as a 5th person without a spacesuit. I'm fine with that.
I would resubscribe to cable in order to be able to watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other story on that one being basically about the crazy making conditions of being isolated.
Yeah.
It was like that for so long. But yeah, I mean, they're basically planning on having this as a reality TV show on the Mars colony that will have live cameras running 24 hours. They already got companies that are designing the relay satellites that'll be in orbit.
Yeah.
So you can always you have a constant 24-hour surveillance on them. And
well,
then,
even if they weren't doing it as a reality TV show, they'd have to have constant surveillance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
if anything
went wrong, they would want to be able to see
and
what
prevent
went
it from
wrong,
happening next
from
time.
happening again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I found a funny line on here. So they're talking about so either way, if their plan goes ahead, and for the sake of the contest, we hope that it doesn't, NASA's manned mission to the 2030s may well be dubbed Mars Rescue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Just as a note, it is well documented that isolation, and even in a small group of people, like a group of 4, you go crazy if you're like that for too long, because humans need constant interaction. 4 people is not 3 other people, is not enough to really keep you excited about being alive.
Yeah, and if you don't like those other 3 people,
they would have to. That's one of the things they would have to do, is they would have to do personality tests and let these people get to know each other before they decide who the 4 that go up are. Because if you hated each other, that would be the worst thing.
Well,
like, I mean, yeah, you could work together. Like, astronauts don't necessarily have to like each other, but they're also up there for a limited time and know they're coming home.
okay, here's my question. Are they going to force these people to get their tubes tied? Because they're going to get bored. What do the majority of consenting adults do when they're bored? Yeah. And I don't see them sending any people knowledgeable in baby delivery skills up there. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I was wondering about that. It just popped in my
No, it
brain. I
makes
was like,
sense
that
to
would
me.
be a
No,
horrible thing.
It makes total sense
Yeah.
at first.
It's going to be a one-way trip. It's going to be a one-way trip.
Yeah. So you may want to get your tubes tied before you go, because getting pregnant in space would not be a good thing.
Yeah. Eventually, like, if somehow the colony works
Yeah,
and
down
takes
the
off.
road they'll want babies.
Well, down the road, they're also going to be able to send more people and also on a more regular.
Martians. They can actually call themselves Martians.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
On a Mars passport.
And part of that, a big part of that's going to be the simulated Mars colony, because they're going to have these people in there isolated and basically
Murdering each
Teslas.
other and eating each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
So basically, it's going to be a teaser for the actual thing.
Yeah. I would like to point out something as I was looking at your news articles, Mike. There was another news article on there. I didn't pick it because I have something far more important to talk about. but it was the article on the U.S. Army Special Forces working with plasma blades.
Wait, what?
Yes, it was on the same website that Mike got his articles from.
See that one?
Popsci.com.
Popsci.com.
Popsci.
And right now, it is a plasma gas blade, and it is currently being used basically to cauterize wounds for special forces.
Is it a lightsaber?
I was thinking more Halo.
Lightsaber.
Star Wars wins over Halo.
Yes. Especially.
But
Well,
yeah,
they actually call it a plasma blade, no? And
yeah, but well, it's using plasma, a super excited gas, and basically
It's really stoked to be a knife, dude.
Yeah.
Super excited.
and
I know what it really
so
means.
it can cut like as finely as a scalpel can cut, but it also cauterizes the wound simultaneously, and you can like place it in a wound to cauterize it. So like if let's say this is special forces are doing it, so they can like cauterize the wounds. So if a special forces member gets shot and blood loss is usually a major issue for them, they can cauterize it so they don't have the blood loss and they can get them back to a field hospital.
Yeah, I'd use it to make toast while I sliced bread.
I would too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, the U.S. Army has probably got or is working on power armors and exoskeletons.
Well, we know
And-
we're working on exoskeletons.
Yeah, and well, they've admitted exoskeletons a long time ago.
Yeah. But they're making Iron Man.
But yeah, they could have or are working on Iron Man, and now they're freaking field testing baby lightsabers.
Yay!
What a time it is to be alive! I'm telling you.
And they're gonna have a space colony.
Yeah.
This is the greatest time ever, you guys. Life's amazing. Because science.
Yes.
looks like they also discovered an asteroid that has rings.
Yeah.
It's
We
pretty.
had a
And
busy
they-
week.
And
Yeah.
they figured out how to make cancer cells explode. Which sounds like a thing you wouldn't want happening inside of you necessarily.
It's not high pressure.
Yeah.
Like,
Still
it
seems
doesn't
like
take
it'd
a
be
lot. All it takes is just a tiny raise of internal pressure in a cell to rupture it, and that's all you have to do is rupture the cell.
But yeah, the pictures are really cool if you haven't seen those.
I haven't seen them, but
Oh.
I've seen pictures of erupted cells.
Yeah, it looks like, you know those, like the mirrors, like the sunburst mirrors?
Yeah.
It looks like one of those, like the ones with the balls on the end of the sunbursts is what it reminded me of. Only it's a cell.
Yeah.
Just did cool things.
Lol. All right, so I guess my story was pretty short, but
But
That's okay.
that's okay.
space. I would go.
Yeah.
I would totally go. If
yeah.
they would take me, I would go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would go too.
Let me rephrase that. If I was not in a long-term committed relationship with someone who would murder me, I would go.
Can't murder you if you're on
Does
Mars.
it murder you if you're on Mars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe send you threatening emails, but
Yeah. It would take a while to get there, though, so.
yeah.
FaceTime calls would be a pain.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Moving on.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna do my news next.
All right.
It's also a two-parter. We'll save Mason's for last
Okay.
because it's awesome. So, Facebook, they came out and whipped out their big old monetary cock and said, "Hey, Oculus Rift, we want
Suck
you."
it.
Basically,
Suck our
yeah.
monetary.
They cock slapped them with a lot of money.
$2 billion to be exact, and said, we want your VR technology. On the plus side, the original employees of the Oculus Rift will remain intact, as obviously they're the ones developing it. Yeah, Facebook basically offered up $2 billion in cash and stock to the Oculus people.
Giant
So-
money wang.
I'm not sure entirely what their plans are with it. I don't think really anybody knows at this point. I've seen a couple of reviews where they said the future is going to be bright and blah blah blah. But of course, they're not going to backtalk their own product. But
I don't need Facebook in VR. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, how would that be interesting
Lol,
compared to...
I'm running my 3D game. I'm going to headshot this guy. Oh, look, pop-up ad.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
fuck you,
pissed me off. It pissed me off. Well, I don't know. I have some thoughts on augmented reality that could be cool, but like Oculus Rift doesn't work for augmented reality. Like that's more of a Google Glass type thing.
Yeah, we kind of discussed that at a short length at once already with the augmented reality with the Oculus Rift. kind of like the PlayStation Home was, I think, the one I brought up, where you're kind of like your own avatar walking around like a mall.
Well,
or
that's
something.
that's not augmented reality. That's like full VR sim. Is kind of the thought on there, is where, like, in that case, you're living literally almost a life inside the computer.
Oh, but you're talking like in your own environment, but
I'm talking
things
about,
that aren't necessarily
AR,
there.
which is in reality, but you're getting essentially extra data feeds in about what you're viewing.
I get these magazines, and one of them, it's got an augmented reality program that it's compatible with, and basically if you download it, you hold your phone over, with the app open, you hold your phone over one of the pages, and it'll pop up with, like, relevant videos that look like they're hovering above the page on your phone and stuff like that. So it'd be basically that, but on your eyeballs.
Right. And then, like, I don't know if anyone else has it on their phones, but Yelp has the monocle function.
Oh, yeah, where you can just look around.
You can look around and see the distance to different restaurants and their relative direction to you.
And,
but, like, and then, like, also, like, some of the wearable things, like the Razer Nabu, I think is what it's called, and then the Galaxy Gear, and then the Samsung Gear, which are similar, except for the Samsung Gears are Tizen based instead of Galaxy indicating Android based. But, like, one of the things the Nabu they were specifically talking about was,
Isn't
like,
that the name of the people from, can't remember the name, Blue People. Aren't they the Nabu? Navi. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Nabu. That's,
It's something.
would be a planet in Star Wars, actually, also.
Yes.
It's NABOO. This is NABU. But,
thanks for the clarification, Mason.
you're welcome. But like, if we were meeting up and we hadn't known each other before or something like that, like, it might give us a readout, like, you know, as we, like, shake hands or something, get close enough, it could give us a readout of, like, you know, showing basically our Facebook profiles to each other and things like that. I can see possibly Facebook wanting to look at that direction, but at the same time, that's not so much, that would not be a good function of the Oculus Rift technology. That's more of just a general AR, augmented reality technology that would be more in line with, like, the Google Glass or the competitors for Google Glass that are coming out.
They might not even be looking to incorporate it with their own personal technology. They might just be like, this is cool. We have a giant money wing. Let's...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they could.
Yeah.
I mean, if all they're doing is trying to throw money at it so it can be developed further, so they can then be some of the people who gather profit from the sales of Oculus Rifts,
I'd be more okay with that.
I am more okay with that.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, I mean, I've been hearing some scary stuff about everybody's trying to make their own OS now. And
Yeah.
Facebook included in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Facebook's gonna have pop-ups in our reality before you know it.
Facebook and Google are both buying up all these companies, and someday there will be a mighty battle between the Facebooks.
Dun,
So
and
here's
the
a-
Googles.
here's
Clan Google. And
I was
Clan
gonna say,
Facebook.
but that's really easy to solve. Google just shuts down all the DNS to, and all the search results to Facebook, and they win.
All right. Well, here's a direct quote coming from the Oculus guys. At first glance, it may not seem obvious why Oculus is partnering with Facebook, a company focused on connecting people, investing in internet access for the world, and pushing an open computing platform. But when you consider it more carefully, we're culturally aligned with a focus on innovating and hiring the best and brightest. We believe communication drives new platforms. We want to contribute to a more open, connected world, and we both see virtual reality as the next step. Most important, Facebook understands the potential of VR. Mark and his team share our vision for virtual reality's potential to transform the way we learn, share, play, and communicate. Facebook is a company that believes that anything is possible with the right group of people, and we couldn't agree more.
That was really vague.
Yeah.
It was very vague.
Well, at this point, no one's going to say anything rock solid. It just happened. Basically, if basically, like I said, if they're just throwing money at it so they can make a profit off of it.
But here's the thing,
or,
though. It was already backed. It already had its money.
Yeah.
From
Kickstarter.
From Kickstarter, which is actually going to take me into the follow up. it had made its money from Kickstarter. Anybody who was on Kickstarter is kind of like up in the air about it already.
Yeah. As long as they follow through with their promises to the Kickstarter backers, I wouldn't see any problem there with them getting more funding.
No, I agree. It's just that I think the idea is, and haters gonna hate, I guess, but at the same time, it's like the people who backed this thing because they wanted it backed as an independent project. That was something that they would hopefully not see, tampered with. But now that Facebook has come out and bought it, now people who have invested into it already from the Kickstarter project are now wanting refunds.
But they're partners with Facebook now, which is always completely open and honest with its contracts and what it tells the people that buy into it. Just kidding.
But on that note, the follow-up post I have here is that Minecraft creator cancels Oculus Rift version following Facebook acquisition. Yep. And this story
He's like, fuck that shit.
Literally posted hours after the announcement that Facebook bought Oculus Rift. Let's see. He says, I just canceled the deal. Facebook creeps me out. That was his response.
Yeah. Oh, the thing is like, it's totally valid for him to do that and feel that way too. Mm-hmm. And I don't see him being the only person that does something like that.
And the quote in the giant red letters here, it says, there's nothing about their history that makes me trust them.
Yeah. But
again,
like I said, they're always honest and open and tell you exactly what's going on. I can't imagine why that anyone would feel that way.
He also says, I definitely want to be a part of VR, but I will not work with Facebook. Their motives are too unclear and shifting, and they haven't historically been a stable platform. There's nothing about their history that makes me trust them, and that makes them seem creepy to me. That's basically his direct quote.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people were kind of up in arms about the whole Facebook acquisition thing, but I find it interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I guess that gives PlayStation's Morpheus a step up because they have Minecraft already on their deal, so I don't think that they would be, too shaky to build a VR system for the Morpheus.
Well, there's also other competing VR platforms that just aren't as famous because they're newer and they were not as far along as the Oculus. But there's quite a few of them out there. And I'm sure they're going to start getting a lot more attention and a lot more popular now because of this move by Oculus. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, as soon as they find one that doesn't make people motion sick,
that's going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
I look forward to the day when it happens, though. So then
Well,
I
it's just
can
a
try
matter
VR.
Well, it's just a matter of the input from your ear canal and your eyes is different.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm deaf.
So, there's no way to do that.
It's not,
I get...
it's not
No,
sound, it's the motion of the fluid.
Yeah, I just have this theory that, because it got worse once I ruptured my eardrums, so I have this theory that my scar tissue is affecting it.
Well, scar tissue could be affecting it. But it's not actually, because deaf people have balance.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
He does also, Mark Pearson also goes on to say, we're going to make Oculus a platform for many experiences, Mark Zuckerberg says.
Yeah.
This doesn't necessarily mean there's no chance for Minecraft making the jump to VR. A PS4 version of the game is in the works, which could potentially work with Sony's recently revealed Project Morpheus headset.
Right.
So, that's good. Minecraft is definitely a game worth being in 3D.
I've only watched my brother play it because he's kind of obsessed because his girlfriend got it for him for Valentine's Day, and then he was just addicted.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like it would be aggravating in a couple extra dimensions. I do like watching him die repeatedly by falling in lava trying to do the same thing over and over again, though. It was pretty...
Kind of amusing.
Yeah, it's very amusing.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so, yeah, Oculus sold out.
Yep.
Nikki.
Super awesome 3D printer stuff.
Yeah, tell us why science is amazing.
Science is great, you guys. I keep saying that I am so excited about 3D printers because of what it does for prosthetics and things like that. And it was announced this week that a Dutch hospital has successfully performed the first operation replacing a patient's skull with a 3D printed version. Which just take a second to wrap your brains around that. Or wrap it around your brains. The 22-year-old patient suffered from a rare disorder that caused the bone in her skull to thicken abnormally from the normal 1.5 centimeters to 5 centimeters thick, which is just crazy thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It affected her eyesight. She couldn't form facial expressions, and she had severe headaches. They were saying that the pressure on her brain would have certainly killed her in time, so it sounds like maybe it was a thing that was getting worse. Like,
Yeah.
I think that sounds like osteopetrosis, where your bones get more dense. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I know that's a thing that exists. And I know because that's what Lil Bub has.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The operation took 23 hours to perform. 3D printers have been previously used to replace skull fragments, but this is the first time that such an extensive area of the cranium, nearly a full hemisphere, has been transplanted.
I mean, it's straight up, the picture looks like a helmet.
Oh, yeah, it does. It looks like a helmet. And they said, using 3D printing, we can make one to the exact size. This not only has great cosmetic advantages, but the patient's brain function often recovers better than using the old method. They waited 3 months to announce the success of the operation after checking to make sure that she made a full recovery. So she's got her eyesight back, she's back to work, and it's nearly impossible to see that she was ever operated on.
Nice.
Which is just fucking cool.
Nikki's post has a picture of the actual piece. I had found a similar article unknowingly that's the one that she was going to bring.
Because he didn't ring the one that I posted 2 days before.
But the one...
That's Dustin for you.
The one I had also
give him a hard time
posted
about it.
also had a picture of it installed.
I'm Dustin. I found a better article than you.
Well, it was pure accident, but it's pretty damn cool to see it actually posted, like, mounted into the head.
I showed Ange a picture of that, how you can, like, see the brain through it.
I
don't know if you really can or if it was just me imagining that you can, but it was still pretty cool.
Well, there's pink wrinkly things in there, so I imagine...
Oh, yeah, that's the brain.
It looks pretty brainy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see the brain through it. That's pretty awesome, actually.
I think they made it clear for that reason. Is my
You think so? Like
theory.
they just...
Oh, well, yeah, because, I mean, you can... I've never seen something 3D printed clear before.
We want this bitch transparent because we want to see it.
If you're gonna have a fucking window in your skull, you're gonna have a fucking window in your skull.
You're gonna end up looking like Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my god.
Brainiac.
Totally does.
I would so do that.
I hope I never thought I'd say this, and I'm gonna get so much hate mail, but I hope they tested it on monkeys first.
Oh, they probably did. Admittedly.
So that there's a for real Mojo
chimps,
Jojo
but
running
they
around.
probably did chimp.
Mojo Jojo's a chimp. It totally works out.
But he had a
I don't really mean that. I love monkeys. But just imagining there being a real Mojo Jojo weeks after we find out there's a real Iron Man would just be amazing.
Running around with a cape and a suit and just...
Well, yeah, you'd have to put him
with a crazy,
Mojo Jojo.
like a weird Asian accent of some sort.
super racist. Oh, it would be amazing. Did you guys see the article about, I think it was an orangutan that made a key out of a piece of wire that it used to escape from its enclosure?
That's because our close relatives are smart, too.
Yeah, but they couldn't figure out how it did it because every time the zookeepers came close, he hid it in his mouth. Like an inmate.
That's because he's kept in a
I
cage.
know, but it was so awesome. Like, this is the smartest monkey ever.
Not a monkey.
I know he's not a monkey, but they're monkeys. I don't care.
They're not monkeys.
I
They're
like
apes.
I like saying monkey better than I like saying ape.
But they're apes.
You're an ape.
I am an ape.
I'm
All
going to
of
call
us
you
are
a
ape.
monkey anyways.
I'm not a monkey. I'm
You're
an
a
ape.
monkey.
All right.
I want
Monkey
to be a
fight.
monkey.
Sorry, no tail. Can't be a monkey.
Oh.
Well, it's nice to know that if my skull ever
Maybe he was born
grows,
with one.
if my skull ever grows 3 sizes larger that day, I'll know to have a.
Oh. Is this like, oh, she's not the Grinch.
Maybe they can
That I
print
know
out
I
Little
can-
Bub a new skeleton.
Lil Bob actually is doing better. They're doing hippy dippy shit, and it seems to be working because she's running and jumping.
Oh.
So they're doing like weird like magnets and things like that. And she's running around and doing super cool bub stuff. Like they have video of her going upstairs and jumping up on the couch, which she hasn't been able to do in a long time. So I don't know what all her treatment plan is, but it seems to be doing something.
Morphine.
I don't think they have her on
I don't
drugs.
think.
I think it's like
I
hippy
don't think
dippy.
she would
like,
have the power to jump up onto a couch if
That's
she was
true.
on morphine.
Yeah, she's a tiny cat. She's Betty.
Yeah.
She's a dwarf cat, so that's yeah. But she's running around and doing all sorts of stuff. But she's got osteopetrosis and dwarfism and no teeth. Womp womp.
Well, you can put her on morphine and barbiturates or benzarine.
I don't think she's on drugs.
And then if you put her on benzarine, she'd have the energy.
They could just
And then
vaporize some marijuana for her.
and
Hey.
the morphine, which makes you not care about the pain.
She does kind of
So-
look like she's like whoa
Mm-hmm.
all the time. That would explain it.
Catnip and weed.
Boy.
Yep. Just don't get the two confused.
Sounds like a Friday night to me.
Only until you hit the catnip and die.
You
Yeah.
get home and you just pull out 2 baggies. This one's for you guys, and this one's for me. And the
And if
kitties
the
are
cats
just
are
like-
more interested in the one that's still in your hand,
because
double
it's in your
check.
hand, yeah.
Just to make sure that you did need to give them the catnip. Oh, did you hear about Did you hear about Idaho's brilliance this weekend? Arrested a guy from Colorado just because he's from Colorado and he might have had.
Well,
weed
he
on him.
supposedly didn't put his blinker on,
Whatever.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's why
Idaho
they
being
were
douchebags.
prompted to search his entire car for marijuana.
Yeah, I'd posted up
And it
on
was like an
Facebook
old
going,
guy.
Leave it to Idaho to spoil the party for everybody else. And the dude was 70 years old.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah.
old dude.
It's like,
I got profiled when I came back from Vegas years and years ago. I was on Christmas Eve. I, granted, was speeding, but that's because I was running really late to Christmas family things because I had too much fun in Vegas. And I got pulled over and they made me wait by the side of the road for an hour. They didn't even search my car, but they accused me because I guess there's a drug ring coming through Boise from Vegas. And so when I said I was coming from Vegas, because nobody goes there ever for any other reason.
Yeah, it's not
They-
like it's an entertainment destination.
He's like, what would you
that's
say?
known worldwide.
Yeah,
or
he's like,
anything.
what would you say if I told you that there's a huge drug trafficking ring coming through Boise from Las Vegas? I'm like, and I can't remember if I said this or if I just wished that I'd said this because this was like 10 years ago. And I was like, well, we were on the overpass, the one just up on Broadway, and I was like, well, there's probably a bunch of people driving underneath this right now that are guilty of far more than
pretty
that.
much the only reason I want to go back to Vegas right now anymore is to go to that new barcade, insert coin. And because it looks fucking amazing.
I keep telling Angie we need to go because she eats late at night and likes breakfast food, and there's all-you-can-eat buffets that are 24 hours a day.
Yeah, but
I think she'd weigh more if we lived in Vegas.
that's possible.
I think I would too, though. So
Yeah, well,
there's that.
But the problem is, like, the Vegas buffets, they used to be, like, inexpensive and good. Now they're really expensive. They're still good, but now they're really expensive because they're an attraction in Vegas's eyes now, not a convenience to keep you in the hotel.
But it's still a buffet, so you can, still eat all the things for one price.
Yeah. But, like, the
Still
buffet
worth
at the
it.
Rio for the dinner price is, like, $90 a person.
Still worth it. Not worth it.
Not worth it.
No, not worth it at all.
It's a lot of money for
Unless I got, like, Bobby Flay or Emerald Lagasse, like, at my table cooking for me. I'm paying $90 a person in Vegas for any food.
I'll make
It's like,
a steak.
oh, you're not going to feed me? Well, I'm going to go find another casino. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll be back in an hour.
Or not.
Because it's hard to tell time because none of the casinos have clocks or windows.
Right.
God bless him.
I know.
All right. Final story of the evening. Bring it on.
Okay.
Bring us home, Mason.
Well, I've known about things like this for a while, being that I have a degree in anthropology, and I'm just going to start. Edward Whitson, archaeologist at Penn State, is quitting because he's gotten a little tired of, field work and what actually happens out there. We don't talk a lot about it. A lot of people think we go out and, we dig up bones and potsherds and, arrowheads and stuff, which is all true. But what they don't tell you about is, like, I guess a local way to explain it is, back in, there was the incident of 2009 at the anthropology department here at Boise State, where we were, doing an anatomical layout of a skeleton. It was a Native American skeleton, and someone took a couple of the artifacts that were found with him and placed them where they thought they would go on the body when he was buried, and it animated. So we were having to deal with it. And, there's a reason that Boise State's anthropology department is where it is in the Hemingway building. That building is old, and it was actually blessed, by the Freemasons. And that's one of the reasons we don't let people into the lab of the department, is when things like this happen, you need the people who are trained professionals there to deal with it. And, Whitson, he was just at his wit's end because, he was, when the Flaming Demon came out, that was it. He was tired. He was done. And I don't blame him, but we've been trying to keep this quiet for decades. And yeah, now someone's gone and let it out of the bag. And, we've been trying to protect humanity from its own past follies, but now there's going to be amateurs running around thinking they're Indiana Jones and they can fix this stuff without the proper training, and it's going to be terrible. And people are going to die because of it.
You mean you can't replace a sandbag with the totem?
You got to be quick, and only certain people can do that.
One of those people not being Indiana Jones, apparently.
Obviously not, because,
Shit happened.
Yeah. I mean, that was a movie. It can be a lot worse than that out there, too. So.
Well, do they have, trained priests and...
yeah, we have trained priests and exorcists with us at times. Yeah, I mean, it can get dangerous.
You should keep cats with you, because I watched The Mummy, and I saw how he reacted when he saw that cat, and I figure that's got to be based on some modicum of truth.
Well, I haven't really been able to. Unfortunately, being here in the United States, I haven't been able to study Egyptology very well. As much as I love Egypt, it's not
easily accessible.
Easily accessible here in the United States, but I know that we always have dogs on digs with us because they're very sensitive, and because of the power of the idea of cats in Egyptian mythology, it's very possible that mummies could have an adverse reaction to cats. So yeah, but the news report let it out of the bag, and I just really am worried about amateurs going out there and thinking they're Indiana Jones now and are going to be able to stop some great evil when they simply don't have the training to do it.
Kind of like ghost hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get the right equipment, get yourself in trouble with the spirits and whatnot.
If there's a poltergeist, I'm going to call it a pussy. That can't end badly.
No. Can't end with a board and a brick flying across the room on their own.
Yeah, but people are just they're going to go get themselves in trouble now, and there's a reason sometimes academia keeps things from the public, and this is one of those reasons.
Well, thank you, Mason, for protecting us all.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. So anyway, be careful out there, people. Don't go out fucking digging up shit that you don't know what it is.
Yeah, if you see a Native, especially here in Idaho or anywhere in the U.S., if you see a Native American burial site, don't go digging up the bones. Don't grab, don't take the artifacts from the site. We had the skeleton animate simply because of a mistake by a freshman. And
fucking freshman, dude.
I know.
Every time.
It is. I mean, they're new. They're still learning. They have, they're not even sophomores yet. But yeah, I mean, we had to have Dr. Plu and Dr. Streeter in there helping us undergraduates deal with it. It was bad. So yeah.
That is crazy. I'm sure the evidence of this happening was destroyed.
No, we still have the skeleton.
Well, the skeleton, but I mean, if there was anything.
Oh no, we always clean it up.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So I can't take cameras into the lab.
Mm-hmm. Leave your cell phones at the door.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm thoroughly freaked out. All right. Well, that's kind of our news for the week, man. Anything else anybody wants to add really quick?
I'm good. Everyone else good?
I guess the federal government has officially declared the Bitcoin a
piece of property.
Personal property.
Yeah.
Personal property,
Yeah.
not
currency.
not
So it's like
currency.
gold and silver, not money people.
Right.
That's what it means.
So, all right.
All right. Well, for this week's episode of the Nerd Effect News, We have been,
Michael Morgan.
Mason, Ireland.
Thank you for the.
and I'm Dustin Vancouver, and for those about the nerd,
We salute you.